The boy had walked this trail many times, but never with a purpose like this. It was a narrow path winding through a forest that smelled of pine and quiet wisdom. The trees stood tall like sentinels, holding back time. At the edge of the clearing, the old man waited on a bench carved from a single slab of oak. His name was Mr. Alden, and he had the kind of stillness that made even the birds hold their breath when he spoke. "You came," the old man said, eyes crinkling with a smile. "You said it was important." "It always is," Mr. Alden replied. "Sit." The boy sat. He was barely 20, with eyes that darted, not from fear, but from a restlessness he couldn't name. He had tried college, tried jobs, tried fitting into the shapes the world offered, but none seemed right. "You said you had something to give me," the boy said. Mr. Alden nodded. "Not something to give, something to dare you to do." The boy raised an eyebrow. "Dare me?" "Yes. And I don't mean the childish kind. I mean the kind that wakes men up, the kind that makes you burn from the inside out with purpose." The boy waited. "I dare you," Mr. Alden said slowly, "to be strong, not just in body, but in mind, in character, and in vision. I dare you to build a life like a four-sided man." A four-sided man. Mr. Alden pulled a small square of paper from his coat. On it was a simple drawing, a square divided into 4 equal quadrants. He handed it to the boy. "This," he said, "is the secret I learned when I was your age, and it never failed me. Most people build their lives on one corner. Maybe strength, maybe smarts, maybe social charm. But they're lopsided, unstable. One gust of failure and they tip over." The boy studied the paper. Each side was labeled physical, mental, social, spiritual. "These," Mr. Alden continued, tapping each word with a gnarled finger, "are the 4 corners of a full man. I dare you to build all of them." The boy looked up. "How?" "Let's walk," Mr. Alden said, rising slowly, "and I'll show you." They walked in silence at first, the boy matching the old man's deliberate pace. The forest opened into a field lined with wildflowers, and beyond that, a hill with a single tree atop it. "You see," Mr. Alden said, "I wasn't always this calm. I used to be angry, quietly angry, at the world, at myself, at how small everything seemed. Then I met a man named Franklin Dean. He gave me that square. Was he your mentor? He was, and he dared me to live like no one else I knew. That man built schools, ran marathons, wrote letters to world leaders, and helped boys like me become men. He was no saint, but he was whole." Mr. Alden pointed to the first corner. "Physical. I dare you to be strong physically, not to impress anyone, but because the body is the foundation. You live in it. If it's weak, your dreams are harder to reach. When I was your age, I started every day with a cold bath and a run, not because I liked it, but because it taught me to do what was hard. It gave me mastery over my instincts. You must learn to command yourself." The boy smirked. "Cold baths. Sounds miserable." Mr. Alden laughed. "It is. That's the point. Life won't always be warm. Get used to the chill." They passed a small creek, and Mr. Alden stopped to dip his hands in the rushing water. "Every morning," he said, "I dared myself to do something I didn't want to do, on purpose. That's how you grow, not by accident, but by choice." He pointed to the next corner. "Mental. I dare you to think, to train your mind like a muscle. Read things that stretch you. Write things that matter. Learn how to learn and never stop. Not just facts, but judgment. Most people coast. You must climb. What should I read? Books that challenge you. History, philosophy, science. The lives of those who dared more than comfort. Read Emerson. Read Marcus Aurelius. Read about people who lived boldly. Study their failures. Learn how great men fell and why." They reached the base of the hill. The tree at the top looked small now, but elegant, its branches stretching confidently toward the sky. The third corner. Social. I dare you to be bold in relationships. Learn names. Listen deeply. Speak with purpose. Not to charm, but to connect. People are not ladders to climb, they are bridges to build. I once spent a whole month writing a thank you letter to someone new every day. It changed me. Why? Because gratitude enlarges you. It forces you to see the good in others and shrinks your own self-obsession. That's social strength. Being a builder of people, not just a taker. The boy looked down, shoulders tense. I'm not good with people. I always feel awkward. Mr. Alden nodded. Good. That means you care. Courage isn't about being smooth. It's about showing up when it matters. Start by learning one new name a day. Make someone feel seen. They reached the top of the hill, and the wind greeted them like an old friend. Below, the valley opened up, soft and golden in the late sun. The fourth corner, spiritual. I dare you to believe, not in superstition, but in something greater than yourself. A purpose, a cause, a principle. Without that, you're just a clever animal chasing shiny things. The boy hesitated. I'm not sure I believe in anything yet. Good. That means you're awake. Search. Be reverent. Stand in awe of something. A tree, a sunrise, your conscience. Find what stirs your soul and follow it. Let it pull you toward meaning. That's your compass. Mr. Alden turned and looked him in the eyes. Each of these corners must be built with effort, with intention. If you build one and ignore the others, you'll collapse under pressure. He turned away and looked out over the horizon. I know, because I did. When I was 35, I collapsed in my office, physically exhausted, spiritually empty, mentally overfed but unfocused. And I was alone. I had chased a single corner, achievement. I had money, reputation, awards, but no friends, no purpose, and a body that begged me to stop. The wind shifted. The boy could almost see it. Alden slumped at his desk, fluorescent lights humming, heart pounding, surrounded by silence and success that felt like failure. What did you do? The boy asked softly. I dared myself again. I started over. I left that job. I planted trees. I walked trails like this one. I started listening more than I spoke. I wrote letters. I volunteered at a shelter. I began becoming a man worth following, not just a man worth noticing. The boy took a deep breath. What if I'm not ready? You're not, Mr. Alden said with a smile. That's the point. No one is ready to be great. That's why we dare ourselves, to become what we are not yet. He pointed to the center of the square. That's the real secret. If you build all four sides, something beautiful happens in the center. A spark, a calling, a boldness. The boy was silent for a long time. Then his voice cracked as he spoke. I've been afraid of failing, of being seen trying and falling short. What if I give everything and still don't make it? Mr. Alden stepped forward, placing a firm hand on the boy's shoulder. Then you will have lived. You will have dared something worth your soul, and that's more than most ever do. The boy's eyes brimmed with tears. He didn't wipe them this time. Then he stood tall. Okay, I accept. Mr. Alden raised a brow. Say it right. The boy took a breath. I dare myself to grow strong, think deep, connect true, and live by a higher law. Mr. Alden smiled. That's it. You've joined a rare brotherhood, the brotherhood of the dared. And one day, someone will sit where you sit now, confused and uncertain. Dare them. As they descended the hill, the boy stopped. He knelt in the soil and pressed the folded square of paper into the ground beneath the tree. What are you doing? Mr. Alden asked. Planting the idea, the boy said, so it grows in others too. Mr. Alden nodded, his eyes misty. The boy stood and looked at him. I'll build all four sides, one day at a time. Years later, the same hill, the same tree, but now the bench held a different man. His hair had a few silver streaks, his shoulders were broader, and his eyes no longer darted. They were still and clear. A young girl sat beside him, no older than 16. She held a notebook, full of scribbles and sketches, confusion and hope. The man smiled, reached into his coat, and pulled out a square of paper. 4 corners, 4 words. I dare you, he said.